Now to East. Everyone, East-West are not vulnerable, North-South are vulnerable. East is dealer. Okay, so East has got 10, 13, 14 points in total. Nice opening hand. We're unbalanced here. So playing the American system, we will be opening our longest suit. Now, interestingly, because we play 5-card majors, because we play standard American yellow card and 5-card majors are a core part of that, if we were to open 1 heart, that would promise 5, which means if we open 1 spade or 1 heart, that's 5. If we open 1 club or 1 diamond, you actually can't have those as 4-card suits, because sometimes you would have 4 cards in hearts and spades, so you can't open either of those, and only 3 cards in one of the minors and 2 cards in another of the minor. So you have to play something known as better minor, which means when you open one of a minor, you're only promising 3 or more cards, simply because you might have 4-4 in the majors, but you just can't bid them, because we're playing 5-card majors. What that means is when we open 1 diamond here, our partner only knows that we have 3. They don't know that we have 4 or in fact 5, as we do have. But we should still open 1 diamond, because it's the correct bidding pattern, diamonds and then hearts. But when we open a diamond, our partner only knows it's 3, because we might have the 4-4 major hand where we can't actually open a major. So I would start with 1 diamond, because we've got an opening hand and it's our longest suit, but be aware, of course, that we are showing 3+ cards in this suit, and not necessarily 4+. Now to South. South has got a balanced 10-point hand. Nothing really to bid as an overcaller here. We would need a 5th card in spade or hearts to be making an overcall. And we've not got enough points to double, and in fact we don't have the right shape to double, because double would show shortage in diamonds and tolerance for the other 3, which we don't have. So yeah, nothing to say, but pass. Now to West, responding to 1 diamond. Okay, so West has got 6 points, so we should be bidding something. 6 plus you want to bid something. Interestingly, we don't have a 4-card suit that we can bid at the 1 level, so we don't have 4 hearts or 4 spades. Obviously, if we did, we would choose to bid those in preference to supporting a minor. Another thing is that we only know our partner has 3 or more of this minor, because we're playing 5-card majors, we only know they have 3 or more. So to support a minor playing standard American, we need a 5-card fit for a minor. The idea behind this is we are sacrificing supporting minors in preference to be able to support majors. So when they open 1 heart or 1 spade, we could support with only 3 cards. When they open 1 diamond or 1 club, we need 5 cards to support. So we're raising minors less, raising majors more. That's the idea. However, we do have a 5-card minor suit, so we can in fact raise this minor, raise diamonds, because we know we have a fit there. So I would be bidding 2 diamonds in preference to 1 no trump. If we didn't have 5 diamonds, and in fact we had no biddable 4-card suit as such, because we can't raise the diamonds now because we need 5, 1 no trump will be the correct bid here. But because we do have a 5-card diamond suit, we can actually raise our partner's 1 minor opening because they're promising 3 cards or more. So I would bid 2 diamonds, which basically says 6 to 9 points, 5 or more diamonds. Now to North. Okay, North Sand is interesting. Distributionally wise, this is very powerful. If you just count your losers, assuming a fit, which is an assumption but reasonable given the number of clubs we have, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losers. A 5-loser hand is a good hand. Obviously we don't have many points, but we have got a lot of distribution, which is why our losing trick count is so low. This hand is too good to pass. Even though we're vulnerable, even though we're going to have to bid clubs at the 3 level, it's too good to pass. We've got too much distribution. We could opt for a double if you wanted to, but a double for me would show more hearts, because you can tolerate partner bidding hearts, and more of a flattish hand, something like 4 cards in hearts like that. Given that we've got a 7-card club suit, I would look to be bidding 3 clubs here. I would like to bid clubs and then spades, but I'm not sure the bidding is going to allow us to do that. We might get away with it, but probably we're going to end up bidding 3 clubs, and partner's going to raise clubs or not, or they're going to preempt us in diamonds or not. We might get the opportunity to bid spades next, but probably not. But I certainly would be starting with 3 clubs. Far too much shape to be passing here. Now back to East, who open the bidding. Interestingly, we know from our partner's 2-level minor raise, they've raised our minor, we know that they haven't got 4 cards in a major, because they would definitely bid 1 heart or 1 spade in preference to raising the minor. Important to notice that 5-card majors, in the American system, 5-card majors is only for the opening bidder. So if you open 1 heart or 1 spade, it's 5. If you respond 1 heart or 1 spade, it's only 4. Very important, because one of us needs to be able to bid 4-card suits in the majors, otherwise you will miss 4 forfeits. So we know that West doesn't have 4 cards in hearts or 4 cards in spades. So the heart fit is gone. We never had a spade fit really, but the heart fit is gone. So therefore we're now just deciding how many diamonds do we want to be in. Given our number of points and given their lack of points, they've only got 6 to 9-ish for that bid, we don't want to be in game. But rather irritatingly, we can't play in 2 diamonds because North has just stopped us. So we know of a huge diamond fit here. Our partner's promised 5 diamonds because we only promised 3. So we actually know we have a 10 card diamond fit here. So given that, and given the vulnerability, I certainly wouldn't be passing 3 clubs. I would be bidding 3 diamonds here. Competitive, trying to play in diamonds, not clubs. Not looking for game, not a forcing bid, nothing new. It's just, I don't want to play in them, I want to play in these. And of course we know there isn't a heart fit, so there's no point in exploring anything on this side. It's only a case of how many diamonds do we need to bid to make sure diamonds are drops. So I bid 3 diamonds, purely competitive. Now to South. So partners bid 3 clubs. They bid at vulnerable at the 3 level on their own. That's quite a considerable overcall. You would like at least 6 cards in that suit. When you're bidding in a suit at the 3 level as your first bid, you would like a good quality 6 card suit. So our partner's got a good hand, but they bid clubs, and that's the problem here. We've got reasonable points, we've got 10 points, but we've only got 2 cards in clubs. So we can't raise our partner's clubs. We know that the opponents have got a diamond fit, so we know our partner is short in diamonds, a void and or 1. But we can't raise the clubs, so we shouldn't really be bidding 4 clubs, nor should we be introducing a new suit. You would need at least 5 cards, really you would want 6 to be bidding a new suit here. I.e. hearts or spades. And in fact, if we did have that, we would probably bid 1 heart or 1 spade over 1 diamond. So I think we should pass, probably. The only other option we could do is double, to make our partner bid hearts or spades. Double would suggest, I want you to compete, but I don't know what to bid. For me, that would be perfect if you had 2 diamonds and 3 clubs, or even 1 diamond and 4 clubs. We've got just a few too many diamonds, not quite enough club support. I wouldn't, if I doubled and our partner bid 4 clubs, I wouldn't be too keen on the idea of 4 clubs, albeit I would like playing in a major, of course. So I think we've got a pass, but I don't mind a double, but I think pass is the best bid, given that we haven't quite got a good club fit. Okay, to West. Nothing really to say with regards to West. The 3 club overcall here, and partner bidding 3 diamonds, is just a competitive bid. 3 diamonds is non-forcing. They've not bid a new suit, they've not doubled, they've not shown any particular strength. They've just shown diamonds. So obviously they know we've got 5, they've got at least 4 to be bidding for 9 tricks, that kind of region. It would appear they just don't want to defend 3 clubs. We've got nothing to say. We've shown 5 diamonds and we've shown our 6 points. We've got absolutely nothing extra to say. So it's a nice straightforward pass from our perspective. Okay, so now it comes down to how much North wants to stick their neck out. We bid 3 clubs, which, as mentioned earlier, should be a 6 plus card suit of good quality at the 3 level. As you can see, it is. It's 7 cards of good quality. So and our partner didn't raise the clubs, so that would suggest they don't have kind of 3-4 clubs. They also didn't make any other bid over 3 diamonds. They didn't bid a new suit, nor did they double. They've been rather pessimistic, let's be honest. So we don't really know they've got much. What we do know, though, is the opponents are not going for game. So given that the opponents are not even looking for game, or going for game, we know that they don't really have a huge surplus of points. There will be kind of maybe 14, 15, probably fewer than 16 here, if at 16 they might have game on. This hand's 6 to 9. We've only got 10, so if we assume 15, 9 and 10, our partner still has some points over there. They've still got kind of 5 or 6 points. And that's an extreme pessimistic case. It's more often than not, the points will be roughly 20-20, given this bidding. And in fact, we have a lot of distribution. The thing that's putting me off competing further here with the North cards is the vulnerability. We are vulnerable against not. But I actually do think there's too much shape to give in here. Now your instinct may well be to bid 4 clubs because you have 7 of them, but I think we should give our partner the choice between spades and clubs by bidding 3 spades. If they don't like spades, they can go back to 4 clubs, knowing that we're probably 6 and 4. Remember, this bid almost certainly promises 6 clubs. So 3 spades here would show a 6-4 hand with the black suits, and in fact it's 7-4, as we can see. It gives partner the choice between spades or clubs, and it stops them playing in diamonds. We don't want them in diamonds, do we? The only thing is, I'd prefer to be not vulnerable to be making this pushy bid. But I simply think we've got too much shape. Even though we are vulnerable, I think this hand is too good distributionally to give in. So I would opt for 3 spades, which would show a 6-4, 6 plus 4 plus kind of shape, and basically a competitive bid as well. So, East has an option here. They could push on to 4 diamonds, given that the level of the fit suggests so. There's 5 diamonds here for their raise. We've got 5, so that's 10. Could bid 4 diamonds. Or we could pass. We don't really know what's going on. I would probably pass to wait to see what South does. If South puts them back to 4 clubs, we may well bid 4 diamonds. If South passes 3 spades, then we're probably happy defending spades. Certainly happier than defending clubs. Yeah, I think it's a tricky bid here because it all depends on what South's going to do, and we can't really know before that we've passed and watched South do it, if you know what I mean. If South does bid, of course, we'll get another bite of the cherry. But if South passes 3 spades, we might have wished we bid 4 diamonds. Not easy to say, to be honest. I would probably pass though, given that our partner's only shown us 6 to 9 points, we've only got 14-ish, so we've got 20 points-ish, maybe 22, something like that. And we've got reasonable distribution, but I think 4 diamonds would be a bit preemptive. We want to see what South does. South may well bid 4 clubs, and then we can have a decision about whether to go back to diamonds or not. I don't mind a 4 diamond bid here, nor do I mind pass. I'm going to pass because I kind of want to wait to see what South does. Especially given the vulnerability, it looks like we might be able to take them off, which will be nice. So yeah, I'm going to pass, but I wouldn't judge you for bidding 4 diamonds here. But I'm going to pass to wait to see what happens. Now to South, partner's 3 spade bid obviously is good news for us. We now know we have a 4-4 spade fit, so we can play in spades instead of clubs, which is good. The question mark is, do we want to play in 3 spades or do we want to play in 4 spades? We certainly prefer spades to clubs, it's just a case of how many spades we want to play in. I would argue that our partner's bidding is very strong bidding in the sense that they have done a lot of bidding on their own vulnerable. They are basically forcing us to 4 clubs if indeed we didn't have a spade fit, and we might not have anything at all. So they've done a fair bit of bidding here. It suggests they've got a pretty distributionally good hand, and probably an opening hand-ish as well. The thing that I like about this hand is that we've got the ace of diamonds, so we've got control of our partner's short suit. They rate to have 1 or no diamonds. And we've got a nice 4-card fit for them, and we've got shortage in their club suit, so we can rough their clubs good and after drawing the trumps. We've got the ace of diamonds, so the opponents won't have any diamond winners. So the only way 4 spades will go off is if our partner's spades are quite weak and the opponents have cashing hearts. And I just kind of can't picture a hand where North would have bid like that and doesn't have points in the black suits. They kind of have to have. So I'm going to raise to 4 spades based on distribution and not necessarily high points. The 2 aces are really good. The Queen of Hearts is probably not very useful, but the 2 aces are really good, and we've got a nice 4-card fit and shortage in their first suit. So I'm going to have a go at 4 spades, based on partners' strong bidding and the distributional nature of their hand. So 4 spades. Okay, so East is on lead to 4 spades. East-West certainly shouldn't be bidding 5 diamonds over it, so everyone passed 4 spades out, and now it's East to lead against this 4-spade contract. So what we know from the bidding is that South has a spade fit for North, obviously, and North has a lot of black cards. They're probably 6-4, 6-5, 7-4, something in that range. So they won't have many red cards. Now the standout lead, from what I'm looking at, is a diamond, simply because we have diamonds with our partner. And also we've got a sequence in diamonds. We've got king from king, queen. The only slight concern is that if we don't have the ace of diamonds between us, we might then not make our heart tricks. If we lead the king of diamonds and one of them has the ace, they might win the ace of diamonds, draw the trumps, run the clubs, throw the hearts away, something like that. So you could opt for a hyper-aggressive ace of hearts lead, but I think that is probably unlikely to be the correct thing to do. It's probably this, and it's certainly very unsafe. Imagine the king of hearts is here, you wish you'd never led the ace of hearts, you wish you'd just led the king of diamonds and been normal. But certainly the normal lead here will be top of the sequence. So that's what I'm going to opt for. Now to the dummy. Okay, so what a lovely dummy that is, first of all. Ace 10 9 of spades is really nice, only missing the king. Doubleton clubs really nice. Okay, they cash the 8 king of clubs and trump a club if they're not breaking 2 and 2. So it looks like we're going to make lots of black suit tricks here. We can draw the trumps, set the clubs up. It's going to have a very nice time as long as the clubs aren't 4-0, as long as the spades aren't distributed badly as well. From a loser's potential perspective, we might have a loser in the shape of the king of spades, depends whether it is, and we might have a loser, well, we do have 2 heart losers, however the opponents haven't led them, so we haven't lost them yet. We might have something to do in clubs, depending on how they break. If the ace-king drops the clubs, i.e. they're 2 and 2, everything's fine. If the clubs are 3-1, we're going to have to trump 1 on the dummy. If the clubs are 4-0, we're going to have to trump 2 on the dummy, which would be somewhat unfortunate. A 2-2 break is slightly less likely than a 3-1, so 3-1 is probably what we should play for. If the trumps are breaking nicely, we can draw the trumps, cash the 8 king of clubs, ruff a club if we need to, and then all the clubs will be set up. So assuming reasonable breaks here, we're looking pretty good. As long as the trumps aren't like 4-1 or 5-0 and the clubs aren't 4-0, we should be in a good shape here. Also, the points are on our left, so the likelihood of the king of spades finesse working is quite high, simply because they've got more points on our left because they open one diamond. Of course, the king of spades could be here, but it's slightly more likely the spade finesse works as well. So we might actually be able to avoid losers in spades and clubs by roughing them. And in fact, the two heart losers, we can get rid of one of those right now because the opponents have led diamonds, and rather helpfully, our partner has the ace of diamonds on the table. So we can win the ace of diamonds now and discard one of our heart losers. So I'm almost certain we're going to be making this 4-spade contract now, save for some horrible break in either black suit or even both. Get rid of one of our heart losers, take the spade finesse by coming to hand, and yeah, basically wait to see what happens in the black suits. As long as they break reasonably, I think we're going to make this. And of course, if they'd led a heart, they would have won the first two heart tricks, but the fact they haven't means we're going to be able to shed one of those quickly. So, win the ace of diamonds and throw a heart in a minute. Okay, so play the ace of diamonds from dummy. I'm going to follow small here, and we're going to throw away one of our heart losers. Good start for us, the declarers, that is. So, won that trick. Now we want to cross the hand to take the spade finesse. We could play an ultra safe play, which would be cash the ace of spades and drive out the queen of spades. I think the best bet is to cross to hand with a club and then take the spade finesse. The only risk behind crossing to hand with a club is if they are in fact 4-0, then we're gonna get roughed on the very first club trick. That would be quite unlucky. And in fact, if they are 4-0, then we're going to need to rough two clubs in dummy anyway, so we probably need to test for them being 4-0 anyway. The danger of using a diamond to rough to hand is that our entries are vanishing in hand, so we're not going to be able to enjoy our nice club suit. What will happen is, diamonds rough to hand, draw the trumps in 3 rounds, we've now run out of spades. When we play the ace-king of clubs and rough a club, we now can't get back to all our winning clubs. You've got to be very careful with these trumps. These trumps are our only real solid entries to hand outside of the clubs. So I would play a low club. This is somewhat risky, but it's not extremely risky. It only fails on a 4-0 break, which is just short of 10% of the time. So it's got some risk to it, but it's not extremely risky. And if clubs are 4-0, we're in a bit of a pickle anyway, I would say, because we need to rough so many clubs on table. So, club to the ace, or king. The jack of clubs appears. That looks like a singleton, so it looks like they're 3-1. Of course, it could be queen jack doubleton. But the main thing is they weren't 4-0. And now we're in the right hand to take the spade finesse. So I'd lead the queen or the jack of spades, hoping the king of spades is on the left. As you can see, the king of spades is in fact on our left, so East can't do anything about it. They play the king, we win. If they play low, we win. So the best bet is to play low and hope. I mean, if they cover the king, we've just got all the spades. It doesn't matter though, of course. Queen of spades runs all the way around, and in fact it wins. So that's good. The spades didn't break 5-0, which would have been unlucky, and the king of spades was in the right hand. Now we continue to punish East for having the king of spades, lead the jack of spades, and they've got the same problem. Drawing the trumps and finessing spades all in one. Doesn't matter what they do. Everybody plays a spade, so the spades are now 3-2. Very good news. That means the king of spades is falling on the next round, and all of the trumps will have been drawn by that time. So when we play a low spade, the king appears, kill it with the ace, they throw something away, most likely a diamond. We've now drawn the trumps. Now I will accept, things went very well there. The king of spades was in the right hand, and the spades broke 3-2. They were 4-1 or 5-0, we would have had much more difficulty in this hand. We'd have probably had to stop drawing trumps, rough a club first, etc, etc. It would have got much messier. Now we're in a position where basically we have the rest of the tricks, bar one. And the way we do it is as follows. We lead the low club from the table. They play low. Now we could read the jack of clubs earlier as a singleton, play the 10 on it, win when the queen is here, cash the king, all the clubs are winners. Or, in fact, we could play the king of clubs, rough a club, knowing the clubs are at least 3-1, we rough a club, we will then have the remainder of the club winners that way. The safest bet is certainly to play the king of clubs and rough a club, but you might read that jack of clubs as a singleton. So I'll go through what will happen in both scenarios. If we play the king of clubs and they don't follow, because it is a singleton, we're going to have to trump a club on the table. We're then going to have to trump a diamond back to our hand, and the remainder of clubs will then be winners, because by trumping a club their queen will go. So we'll have 4 winning clubs there. We'll end up losing a heart at the end. If we finesse in clubs, This is something known as a principle of restricted choice. They played the jack of clubs because they were restricted in choice of what to play, i.e. it was a singleton. If we play the 10 of clubs, I'm playing the 10 on the 9, so the lead ends up here. The 10 of clubs would win because the queen is on our right. We can then cash the king of clubs, killing the queen. We can play 4 clubs, throwing all 4 hearts on the table, and we can then ruff a heart on the table, and we'll make 13 tricks. So it depends on kind of how confident you are that the jack of clubs is a singleton. It also depends on how greedy you are. A reasonable line would be cash the king of clubs, ruff the clubs good, and accept a heart loser. This would be a greedier line. If this lost to the queen, of course, they can't actually really harm you because the trumps have drawn. They're just going to end up winning a heart. So this has a potential of 11 tricks or 13 tricks, depending on the queen. This is a guarantee of 12 tricks. So it depends on the greediness. Let's say I was greedy. I mean, it doesn't really matter, really. You've made your contract with over tricks. It doesn't really matter. But let's say you were greedy. You would play the 10, and it would win. That's known as a principle of restricted choice finesse. You finessed against the queen being here, because the jack is likely singleton here. And we're now going to make 13 tricks. Of course, if you were in 6 spades, you would certainly not take this risk. You would play the king, ruff the clubs, and accept 12 as 100%. But when you're in 4 spades, you can be greedy if you like. So given that that's worked, we can now cash the king of clubs, felling the queen of clubs. And what will happen is, king of clubs kills the queen. 4 clubs are all winners, because we've drawn all the trumps, and all 4 of those hearts are going to go. And then we're going to ruff a heart, ruff a diamond, and we're going to make all 13 tricks. So that way we make 13 tricks. If indeed, previous trick, we play the king of clubs, we would have to trump a club on the table, trump a diamond back to hand. All 4 of these clubs would be winners, but of course we would end up with a heart loser in hand because we've used the trump on dummy to trump the clubs good. So it depends on how you play the clubs, but we'd be making 12 or 13 tricks here. Even if we got the clubs quote unquote wrong, we'd still be making 12 tricks. So yeah, nice and easy game, and in fact, because everything went so well, we made lots of over tricks. So let's say 12 tricks, let's say I wasn't greedy.